Hello, knockouts. Tanya TKO here. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. This is the live call in portion of our broadcast where we just finished diving. How we put on our 1950s bathing suit and bathing cap, and we synchronized swum right down into that Lance growth video where we just analyzed it piece by piece. And I gave you all the different things to look for in what it is that he was saying, the arbiters to pay attention to know whether or not you have a good man on your hands or even a good person, whether or not the man that you're dealing with is wealthy, has the ability to be wealthy, or even has the ability to regain wealth once he lost it. Also, the key things to look for to see whether or not you have a man of high worth and value in your life. Oh my goodness, that was such a good broadcast. So we are going to open up the phone lines. Hey, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. So that broadcast is, wow. I'm going to fix up that broadcast in a minute because we need to get a new thumbnail up there. But listen, let's get this party started, right? Let's get this party started quickly, right? Oh, set it off on the left side, set it off on the right side, set it off. Ooh, 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 set it off. Hey, hey. All right. On the left, I suspect we are in the house. Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. I am happy to be here with you all today. I'm about to scroll the phone number across the bottom, and I'm also going to be giving shouts out to the Cash Apps as they come in. Let me get this ringer on so I can hear when they come in. The Cash App is $Tanya TKO. We are in the house. Support the content creators that support you. Happy holidays, everyone. And let's get this party started. Phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. 323-488-3149. I'm going to get the number scrolling down at the bottom. On the left, I suggest. Okay. Let's see. I should have done this when I was, let's see. Call in. Analyzing Lance growth video. All right. There we go. Save. And we're going to scroll this at the bottom of the thing. I'm going to take some of your calls. We got the first call coming through. Hi, you're on the air live. Hello. Hi. Yes, I need you to listen in through the phone because there's a 10-second delay between YouTube and the actual broadcast. All right. All right. So, hey, happy Boxing Day to you. I'm fine, thank you. All right, so you want to talk about this video that we just finished doing with Lance Growth. All right, so talk to us. Talk to us, Rini. Oh, hold on. They're saying they cannot hear you. Hold on. Let's get this fixed up. No, they're saying they cannot hear you. Let's get this. Let me make sure that the mic is going into the places it's supposed to go. Let's see. It's my, let's see. Speakers. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me disconnect and then reconnect, okay? Hold on. So wait, some people are saying they can't, wait, I cannot hear the caller speaking. No sound, Tanya. Tanya listening good though. All right, let's see how we're gonna do this. All right, so let's stop this and then we'll come back in. We shall do that again. No, hold on. I'll tell you when we're back up. Okay, so All right, so go ahead. Say something now. Let me see. Okay, so can you hear her? If you can hear her, please put up the number 2. So we just have to wait 10 more seconds until they hear the call to action for the number 2. Okay, so someone is saying sounds good. So let's wait for the number 2 so that we know that they hear after we made the changes. So they're still saying no. If no sound, what could be going wrong? Okay, so they're not getting any sound. Let me see. What do we need to change? You know what? Why don't you do this? Can you hang up and then see, if I let you go, then I don't really know how to. Let's see, but we have to do something. Hold on, let me see, because the audio settings, default microphone, ringing. Let's see. Okay, so listen. Speakers, let's see. I hear that. Let's see if the audience can hear. Listen. Can you all hear that? Do you hear that ringing sound? Let me take my headphones out. Let me take the headphones out and see. Okay, so Serene?
Yeah. Can everyone hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Okay, so now I have the volume turned way up. Let's see. So they're saying yes, but it's low. So
okay, I'm just trying to talk louder.
No. We really need to make sure that we got this because you're the first call. So they're saying yes now. So let me plug back in the headphones and see whether or not you can hear with the headphones, because I just want to make sure that there's no echo. So when she was talking, you didn't hear an echo, right? Okay, so do you hear her with no echo? Because if I don't need the headphones in, then I just won't put them in. But if you do hear an echo, let me know. So go ahead, Serene. All right, perfect.
Okay, what was I saying? Okay, I was saying that coming from the same background of being Caribbean and raised in a single parent household, it felt so good. I felt proud listening to his story and the way that he spoke about his mom and how protective he was of his sister, and even the way that he spoke about his mother or Black women in his life or women in his life generally. I feel like how do I say this nicely? Moving away from the Caribbean and living in the Western world, it's kind of rare to see Black men boost the women in their lives.
Really?
It's always negative, and it's the same in Britain, if I'm being honest. If
anyone
would really be honest, it reflects exactly what happens in America, just on a lower scale. But it reflects the exact same trajectory and everything. So it felt so nice to see that. I felt proud. I was just like, yes, this is a nice man, a good man. And then on the plus side, this is a good Caribbean man, because this is what I was accustomed to before coming to Britain. And I had a rude awakening, and I fixed up real quick.
Oh, wow.
I fixed up real quick. I adjusted myself accordingly, because this is what I expect. But I'm not wasting my time with someone that is just half assing it, if I can say that.
Got you.
You know, and it was so good. Like, he came out, he did what he was supposed to do. He saw the importance of the effect of his mother's struggle in his life, and the effect of his mother's struggle to get him where he needed to be.
Yes.
And also another thing is that maybe because of the struggle, he was able to understand that I can't do this by myself, because I feel like being in Britain, I've been in numerous mentor programs and stuff like that, and I find that the Black people in Britain are hesitant in wanting to join programs like that. And I find that I don't know what the problem is, but they don't want to engage in programs like that. They don't want to get involved. They prefer to just be handed something, a quick fix, but they don't want to work. And I always stress to friends or people I've met, like, mentorship is very important. It gets you in the circle.
Yes.
Sometimes you just need to get into the circle, and then you get to speaking, and then it opens up. Even if it doesn't feel like it's not your right industry, you don't think that it would help, but that person knows someone.
Right, exactly.
Try not alone God, you're the outsider.
So what were some of the things specifically that kind of rose out of the interview for you that really said, you know what, yes, that made you clap in your house or holler out loud?
The way he spoke about his mother, the way he was protective of his sister,
Mm-hmm.
the way he spoke about how he was focused on what he needed to do.
Yes.
I say that I'm married and I'm just like, I don't know why you did it. You might be in love, but a man is not supposed to feel comfortable getting married to you or giving you kids if he's not prepared. Kids cannot sleep in the streets. And they do not care if you do not have money. They do not care if you don't have food.
Right.
They are not concerned with those things. So I do not understand how you get to the point where I'm ready for a marriage, I'm ready for kids. You're taking this girl away from her parents. You're supposed to be able to provide what her parents gave her and more, not less. She's not supposed to leave the protection of her household to come and struggle with you. That is not how that works.
Exactly.
It baffles my mind. And I go to church, and even in religion, I see that nonsense perpetrated sometimes. And I'm just like, even if we took it there, God gave Adam a job before he gave him a wife. He had employment.
Okay.
He was set to stuff and set things up before he got a woman. So I never understood this. We love each other. We cannot pay bills with love.
That is true. They're not taking those love payments.
Love is one thing. You cannot, like, it's more than just love. It's goals, it's ambitions, it's principles, it's morals, it's values. How do we make this child or family significantly contribute to society?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you know what? Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. They're saying that you have taught us. So thank you for calling in and giving your point of view. And yes, there are many of the same issues in America that exist in the UK. UK is baby America. Remember, America are made up of people that broke away from the UK. And the UK is also a majority Caucasoid land with, I think in the UK, the population of Black people is really low, like 4%, right?
Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4%, yes. It's very low.
Yeah, the percent is very low. I hear that there's police brutality out there. We talked about this a few months ago. I showed you images of the police and how they were beating down. And over there, they don't even care if you're biracial. Over here, they got a preference. Over here, they got a preference for the light and bright.
It's probably the only thing that saves us. They don't carry guns. Only special task force carry guns. So we're probably not even blowing up that way because they can't just literally shoot you on the street.
Yeah, exactly. But over there, they're beating up biracials and everybody. They just beating. So yeah, so thank you so much for calling in and giving your point of view. Thank you. All right, bye-bye. It seems like we got cut off anyway. So thank you for calling in. So listen, I want to get this audio situation fixed up. I took a listen to it on my phone and the audio was coming through the speakers and into the microphone when it should be going directly through the back end. So we want to make sure that we have our audio set up. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Let's get this in. All right, let's test this now. Okay, so now the sound is coming back in through the headset. So let's see if we can get this sound together. Hello? Hello? I can't even hear myself. All right, hello? I don't hear. So let me change the audio settings real quick. Okay. Hello, can you hear me? I can hear you. So let's just check with the people in the audience and see whether or not they can hear. All right. So what is your name? All right. So this is Carmen. So I need you to put up the number 3 if you can hear Carmen, because we need to get the audio situation figured out. I let the last caller go through because she was calling in from England. I know it's an expensive call. So, okay, let's see. They're saying they cannot hear you. Let's see if we do something else. Let's get into the back end. Let's see. Okay, here we go. That's all right. So say something now. Let's see if they can hear you.
Hello, can you all hear me?
All right, put up the number 3 if you can hear her. We just really need to get this worked out because all right, let's wait 10 seconds. How are you doing, Carmen?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Okay, so now they're saying that they can hear. So I see the number 3.
Okay, great.
Wonderful. So we got it. So we got it worked out. I'm so happy. I realized there was something I needed to switch over in the back end. So this is good. So Carmen is on the line. All right,
Hi
Carmen.
there.
Hi. All right.
Yes. So I wanted to say I thought he said some really, really great things that Lance did.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that really stuck out to me though
Mm-hmm.
was the importance of having good mentors.
Yes.
I think it's also really great that he really sought those people out. He did mention that, you know, he did grow up with a single mother who was wonderful and sisters as well who were wonderful. But he realized at some point how important it was to have those male mentors.
Yes.
I think that's so key, especially in our communities, in the Black American communities,
Yes.
that our youth, especially our young men, have those mentors. And that they get to see examples of successful people and successful men outside of, you know, the entertainers and the rappers and the athletes who are all great as well, but just different views of what success and what wealth looks like.
Yes.
I think other communities have those, you know, they have access to those types of people, but the Black community, sometimes we are limited in our views of what wealth and success really mean. It's more than just the flash and the bling bling and the nice cars and, you know, what we see rappers and people like that have. It's way more important than that, and it's way deeper than that. And that's why I also enjoyed the video with Jordan. I believe his name was Jordan Hardinger.
Yes.
I liked this video as well because he did speak on that. You know, it's not always the suit and the flashiness that sort of displays wealth. It's a lot of different things, but most importantly is also character. And I love that he spoke on character and looking for a woman with character. It's not just whether or not, you know, that woman has children or, you know, that she looks like a supermodel. It's what kind of person is she? How does she treat the people that she loves? How does she treat the people that, you know, may make even less than she does? You know, what is her character like? So I appreciated all the things that he said.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
Thank
so
you.
what one thing in particular did he say? So you said the mentorship. What was of particular importance to you from as a woman hearing him speak on?
I think just speaking on, I already said this, but speaking on the character, I think as a young woman, that's what I look for when I look for someone who could be a potential partner.
Yes.
You know, it is how hard they work, is their work ethic, but what is their character like? How are they treating the other women in their lives? How are they treating the other people in their lives in general? Are they arrogant? Do they try to do the right thing? Who are they when no one's looking? That's what's important to me. And it's also great. It's also really great to hear that is important to him. And that's why it goes back to having people who can teach you what you are to look for in a life partner.
Yes.
You know, and for me, it's all about character. And it's great to hear that for him, it's the same.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much, Carmen, for calling in. And thank you for working with us through the audio issues that we had. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Okay. All right. So phone lines are open. We're talking about that stream. Hold on, let me make sure. We're talking about that stream that we just had with Lance Growth and how we broke down that whole entire video and all of the gems and nuggets that were in it.
Call from
Kepper Mayat.
Okay, you're on the air live. Tell us your name again.
Kepper Mayat.
All right. Hi, Keffer. So what were your thoughts about the broadcast?
I absolutely love the broadcast. This gentleman was a mature, articulate, alpha, just a genuinely good man of character. I absolutely loved him. Yes.
Okay. So what in particular stood out from the broadcast for you?
Well, first of all, his temperament. He was very controlled and thoughtful
Mm-hmm.
about what he said. Just really, you can tell that in terms of his level of being a dynamic individual, like you could tell he was very caring, and
Mm-hmm.
if nothing else, wanted to preserve the dignity of women and just in general.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just a gem. I mean, me and my girlfriend was talking just a little earlier about men, and I just feel like men like this really need to start not just mentoring young men, but grown men. Men need outlets to really to be able to express what they're going through, because there's a lot of men out here who are toxic because they're in pain from their relationships with their mothers and their fathers, and they're spewing it on their relationships, their children, everybody. And until men, because see, the thing is that from what I've been learning from not just you, but from other content creators, men don't want to really hear what women have to say, but they will listen to another man. But the thing is that men, real men, alpha men, men who really are is of good character, have to create a place, a safe space for them to understand, like, hey, listen, your ideations of family and relationships and whose accountability for what, and the ideas
Right.
of
But
a black
let me
woman
ask you this
has to
question. Let me
change.
ask you this
Mm-hmm.
question though. So you said he
Mm-hmm.
should mentor grown men. How many people out there feel that grown men will take on mentorship from
I
another
think, can I say
man?
something?
Yeah, of course. I'm asking you.
Tanya, can I say this? It's not so much mentorship, but I think that sometimes men can hear other men versus hearing women. They don't want to hear us in terms of women, so they have to be willing to hear from someone else. And I can see how they bond over toxicity and bad, just stereotypes about women and the black woman
Mm-hmm.
and what their negatives are. So the only person who can change how they think and perceive women and just and how our just the black I think primarily is the African American experience, because you see it a lot in African Americans, where is this level of toxicity. And so the only thing I can think is, if they don't want it to get the information from women, they don't respect our position on it, then the only place they can get it from is either within or from other men. And so I don't know if mentorship is the appropriate word, but they're not willing to get it from us. They're not receptive from getting it from the black woman.
Okay, so let's dive in a little bit. Thank you for your comment. My question is, so women in general are the biggest consumers of self-help material, the biggest consumers of therapy, the biggest consumers of um videos on making yourself better, etc. Right?
Correct.
Do you think that more men are not invested? Like, even women go to the doctor more than men do. Men are dying of preventable diseases. Even famous men dying of preventable diseases that can be caught in a yearly annual checkup, which they're just not going to do. They're just not going to do their annual checkups. So, question for you: do you think that there's a lack of availability? Is it the supply or the demand? And I'll do
I,
this. I'll do this survey inside of the audience. Are men
I,
not participating in these things because there just aren't enough men providing it, or or are they not providing it because there's just not enough men who will consume it and pay for it? That's the thing, paying for it. So go ahead. What are your
I,
thoughts?
Well, I think here's the thing. I think that there are. I'm gonna say this. There are some men who are doing work. I'll give you a perfect example. A gentleman I met on Facebook.
Hold
Just a
on, hold
gentleman's
on,
friend.
hold on, hold on,
Okay.
hold on, hold on. I'm sorry. I don't want to go off on a tangent.
Okay.
And people hate when I cut people off, but please do
Okay.
understand that there's a lot of people who want to call in. I don't want to go
Gotcha.
off on a tangent. Anecdotal evidence is not evidence. The question is, why aren't more black men? Why aren't more
Because
men in general? Is it that
I'm gonna tell
their
you
service
why.
providers aren't there, or is it that the consumers
They
just
don't.
aren't there?
The consumers aren't that they don't see that they have a problem. They don't see that they have a problem, and until it creates a level of toxicity with their own children, their own families, sisters and siblings and mothers, then that's when, once it gets so toxic and they really can't create healthy relationships, that's when they may start taking a glimpse into saying, maybe I need to talk to somebody. Maybe I may need to go to that group in church. So the information is out there. It's just they don't see the problem, and until they actually see how that their brokenness and their fragmentation is causing an issue, they don't look for it. They just don't look for it. They don't see a problem. And it's until they actually see that problem is when they start to look for help. I have a brother right now who's in that state. And unfortunately, I love him to death. But guess what? Until we continue to feed him information and until he starts to seek out that information, he has to then see how what his ideations is causing so much toxicity in his relationships with siblings, girlfriend, all of that. So, I mean, the information is out there, Tanya.
Okay, so so you feel that the information is available, but
Yes.
okay, but people, but men are just not paying for it or consuming it.
They don't think that they have a problem. Is it not
Okay.
even consumer? They don't think that they have a problem. When you don't want to take accountability that you are the issue, you are the trigger in a lot of situations. You are creating the toxic environment. Then if you don't see that you have the issue, then guess what? There's no treatment for it. You don't seek treatment if you don't feel like there's a problem.
So how do we fix this? How does it get fixed? Not we, sorry, because this is not about putting on a cape. How does this situation get fixed?
Tanya, that's what I'm saying. It's about men taking responsibility. And like I said, men do not, in my own personal life, I have seen where men don't want to take accountability. They don't want to hear us. So what I'm saying is that the only person is either the person or other black men are going to have to kind of shine a light on what's going on to help them understand with the errors of their ways, because they're not taking the information from us. Anytime a black woman comes up against any toxicity, is we're this, we're that. And versus taking any accountability. So until they see a problem, we're going to have this revolving door. And most black women love their black men, but we are tired of being disrespected. We're tired of being devalued. We're tired of just seeing people putting on a pedestal, other races on a pedestal. It's exhausting.
Okay. Well, you know what? Thank you. Thank you. There was listen, there were some comments that came in I need to address. When I say we, a lot of the times, when I say we, I'm really only putting myself in the category because I don't want to point fingers at people. So I say we a lot of the times, but I know that we as women cannot fix it. I thought I clarified, but there's still people making the comments. But no, I do not feel that we as women fix it. How can we as a community, how can Black men fix it? And so Mott is saying that they need to wake up and realize that they have a problem and fix it on their own. And other people are saying we need to leave them in the dust and salvage the young ones. Listen, I feel you.
Well, Tanya, I'm going to say this. Can I say this? I love you. I listen to you. Me and my sister love talking about you. I've called in before, and, and I love you. You talked to me before about doing the shadow work. So I'm going to keep listening in, and you keep doing the great work. You and Crystalline, I've been enjoying Pink Pill. And I'm happy that we have women who are really creating an environment for change. And hopefully, there's some young men who is tuning in and hearing the message. And hopefully they understand it. And all we as Black women and African American women in particular is really, create an environment where we can uplift, and empower, but we can't support the negativity and that toxicity. It's just what it is.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Tanya. You be blessed, okay?
Thank you for calling in. All
Bye-bye.
right. All right. So We are at 30 minutes, so we're going to be going for another half an hour. This is going to be an hour-long broadcast, so if you want to call in, we are halfway through the show. The telephone number is scrolling at the bottom, 323-488-3149. We have almost 500 people on here. Go ahead and thumbs up the video. So, she said that there are some men who listen to my videos. How many men are listening to my videos who are really listening, instead of just arguing? I want to know. I want to know. So listen, if you're a man out there who listens to my video, go ahead and put up the number. What number were we up to? Put up the number 4. I want to see. If you're a man out there who listens to my videos and gains something from my videos that you feel can help you, put up the number 4. I want to see these numbers come through. And here's somebody talking about me, sexy. Come on, what the F? What the F? It's just too much. Sven is saying 4. Okay, wow. So you were right. So there are some men. I did not know this. I really didn't know this because, I make my videos for women primarily. So we got Jerry Jr., we got T. Thomas. We got Chari. I did not know that Sven is coming back in again. I guess he wants to answer multiple times to let it be known. We got LaRon. Hey, Ronnie. Oh my goodness. Hey, all right. Phone lines are open. Wait, 88 Gifts is male? I did not know that. All right. I didn't know this. I didn't know. I really did not know. We got LA Clinton in the house. I did not know. So we got a new call coming through.
Call from
Nia.
Okay.
To accept, press 1.
All right. You're on the air live with Tanya. Tell us your name again.
Awesome. My name is Nia, like Nia Long.
Hi, Nia. It sounds like we're on speakerphone. Is there any way you can get closer? Because I am having a hard time hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
No, it's still really, really low. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's down like at a 2 or 3.
Oh, what about now?
That is better. So go ahead. Go ahead, Nia.
So I heard the last caller talking about content that will make men like understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I really like what she had to say because it was correct. And I kind of want to explain why. Like, I feel like your content and Chris and Shira, like, you're all so wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like your content is for Black women, and like it's not for Black men to understand because it's not to their advantage within like the paradigm that they live within. So the only way to shift it is for them to like make the content for each other and encourage each other. Like it's not going to work because expecting men to understand what you and Chris and Shira are talking about is the equivalent of them feeling like women just be nagging. You know what I mean? But it's not true. Like everything, like we deserve it all. We're not less than. But I think when Black men come on the air and they say that on our behalf, changes the game.
Okay.
And I think that's why. What was his name?
Lance?
The guy in the suit, Kevin.
Oh, yeah. Kitten Heels.
I think that's why this has carried so much weight because the first person to come out against that whole thing that I remember was the white guy that Chris had on air. And that was like, I think that was a bigger deal than we're all realizing. I think we've yet to see the ripple effects of that reaction video.
Okay.
And I don't know. I just think it was really well timed. But yeah, men are never going to get it unless you and, the pink pill crew and all that, unless we start strategizing with men that value us.
Yeah.
So
these
Yeah.
other men, like what's up? Because
Yeah, but you know what? Let me ask you all this question. Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
So,
um,
we know that there have been many men who have come out into the dating world to help men with dating advice. Why does it always
okay.
seem that dating advice, even Jordan talked about this in his video, that the dating advice seems to shift and turn into pickup artistry and how to use and abuse and dump women? Why does it seem to turn into that?
I think that's because I think men are very impressionable, and I do believe that one bad apple spoils the bunch.
And
I do
please
believe that.
elaborate.
I'm sorry.
Please elaborate.
I feel like it just takes one guy to be like, well, I did that, and that bitch did XYZ to me, and never again. Like, they're so fragile. It just takes one, like, embarrassment for them to go right back to the same shit that always works for them. Sorry, I'm swearing a lot. I'm just talking. But
okay, so let me ask you
I
this
just think
question.
it's
Let me ask
easier
you this
not
question
to.
because you're saying one bad apple spoils the bunch. But
Yeah.
can I would love for you all, because you all know more channels than I do. And there's some men in the house apparently as well. So men and ladies, please, what are some of the channels of men who support other men through the dating process that is high vibrational content and not
Right.
pickup artists, red pill, MGTOW, incel, that type of stuff, or alpha strategies that are really messing up relationships? Like, oh, we were supposed to respond to that.
Bottom feeders.
Yes, we were supposed to respond to that man who had listened to alpha male strategies and then ended up on divorce court. So we're in the weekend right now. So we may be able to get to that. So okay, so listen. So Helen is saying Lennon Honor. So I went to his page, and Lennon Honor has these series against Umar, right? Lennon is married, and he has a lot of children, I believe, with his wife, right? And when I looked at his page, he had one course from many years ago for men, but now it just seems like he's doing kind of reaction stuff. So, and stuff, it seems like he's even kind of switched over to talking to women. So what man, so Lennon Honor is the only one that I've known of. Let's see, C Boogie, that I don't know. Listen, Boogie Down Productions, listen.
Can I ask the audience, what do we think about Tony Gaskins? He's a married man who gives all. I feel like he really likes to explain, like.
I didn't see him making content for men. I see him making content, another man making content for women. And when I listened to one of his videos, he was really bringing a biblical aspect into it that I found to be very toxic. And the stuff that he was saying was really centered around him as an individual human being, that mixed up with Caucasoid European interpretation of the Bible. And I just, it wasn't.
Caucasoid?
Yes.
Listen, I just watch his content about, like, why men do the dumb things that they do.
But is he talking? Is he talking to men? This is what I'm talking about. Is he talking to men?
No.
So
he's not.
okay.
I see what you mean.
So there are a lot of men out there who open up their boca and they're talking to women and counseling women and creating their content for women and selling product to women, but they're not taking other men under their wing and creating these retreats for men. I don't see it. And I just want to, and so you all are saying a bunch of names in the comments, but I want to know, who are the men who are making content for men that it's not toxic content, like content from a man who is married, who is talking about how to be a good husband, how to keep your wife, how to communicate effectively, when to get help, when to check on your prostate, all this stuff. Who are the men who are talking about that stuff?
Right. I don't know.
So
if it existed, I'd subscribe.
And yes, I do have a problem with the European interpretation of the Bible. I do. And anybody who's new to my channel, let me just say that out loud. I had so that you know where it is that you're at, so that you don't have to act like you turn a wrong corner and you don't know where you'll be. You're here, and I'm telling you, I have a problem with it. So now you know my stance. All right. So there's no mistaking. If you choose to stay, that means that you want to hear that. So you're not a victim, you're a volunteer. So yes. So I don't know of any, and I'd love to hear, like I have a list. I would love to create a list on my website of men who are really upholding the mantle of manhood, who are creating retreats for heterosexual men. What is it about heterosexual Black men? I don't even know if in any country, whether or continent, where Black men in droves are admitting, yes, we have an issue and we need to fix this. Where? Tell me. All right.
Probably the 2 that I saw on Chris's channel. That's about it.
Well, they don't create content for men. They were in an interview. So I appreciate you calling in. No, it's quite all right. Listen, we're brainstorming and we're having a hard time. We're grasping at straws. It's understandable. Thank you for calling in.
Love your show. I'll be in the comments. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, phone lines are open. We're talking about, and so I see that there are a lot of people who are distressed that people are making videos about Tanya. Listen, I'm a professional. I am a content creator, and I have been a content creator for 13 years. I grew up on YouTube. Mina new at this. I'm not new at this game. It's okay. Let people create content about me. That's wonderful. And just make sure, listen, you have no idea. Listen, people come, they see me, they love me, they stay. They're going to lose their fan base. Somebody was watching this show, right? It's called The Originals, right? It's called The Originals. It's on Netflix, right?
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
You didn't say, hi, what's your name? Hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Momina.
Hi, Lamina. Hold on for just one moment, okay?
Okay.
All right. I need to find I can't find the thing to put you on hold. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. And so there's this show called The Originals, and it's about vampires. And this one vampire took his whole crew over to this other vampire, and he was like, I got my people here with me, right? He had the whole people behind him. And the vampire one-upped him and then cast him. And then now the people he brought belong to the other vampire. So listen, tell them send them come. Tell them send them come. Let them come. It's fine. They will be my people next. This is how it happens. They will not go back. So it is all good. Let them make their videos. It's all good. I feel confident in what it is that I'm doing over here. People can say whatever it is that they want about the interpretation of what it is that me I do. But when the people come, they hear, they fall in love, and they never leave. They become knockouts. They be over here 4 years strong talking about somebody else recommended your videos. Come on now, listen. All right, you're on the air live. Tell us your name again.
My name is Momina.
Hi, Romina. Okay, so talk to us. We're talking about the Lance growth video and our thoughts on that. So please tell us your thoughts.
Hello, Tanya.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, it's crazy. I'm actually tuning into one of your shows that I thought was live, but it was you actually on another subject. So I don't think I'm actually familiar with this particular video.
Oh, okay. So you were watching a show.
Sorry.
Oh, it's quite all right. Oh no, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. So we're gonna let you go, and then we're gonna take the next caller. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you know what, that happens sometimes because people watch the video and it has the number on the bottom, and then they call up and they're like, "Uh-oh." Yeah, so that's cool. That's cool. So welcome in. Oh, I didn't even hear the sound going off for the Cash apps. Let me go check the Cash apps. Here we go. Oh, they've been coming in and I haven't known. Okay. So we got more Morge sent $30 in. So thank you very much. Thank you for the $30 sent to your heart. And then let's grab this real quick.
Call from
Black Women Wake Up.
To
Okay.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail,
All right, you're on the air live. Black Women Wake Up. What name should I call you by? Just Black Women
Yes,
Wake Up?
hi. Yes, hi. I'm calling because I do want to comment on the Lance Gross video. The problem that I had with him is, and what I have with a lot of Black men is, he didn't really mention the hateful aspect that, you know, Black men and Kevin Samuels are coming from. And that's what I don't like. He didn't talk about how bad that is. He just said,
okay.
Men like us, we're making money and we don't have time to sit online all day. I don't like the way Black men minimize.
I did hear a portion of the video, because I didn't play the whole video on my channel, but I did hear a portion of the video where he talked about a person being an authority figure and how he felt bad when the man said that. And he was like, if that was my sister, I would have just been like, don't listen to this mess, because he didn't like the way that he spoke to the woman. So that part wasn't good enough for you.
No, I heard that too. And that's the problem I have with Black men, that they're just not outraged. He had to think of his sister in order to feel any kind of empathy about it. That's not the point. Anybody should be outraged looking at that. I don't care if it was a white woman, a Black man, or whoever, just the point that, you know, just what he's doing. And he does this on a regular. So Black men are really not, the white guy acknowledged it. There was a white woman and a white guy. They acknowledged it better than that. And I can see he was a very calm guy. You know, I'm not saying that he has to just be irate about it, you know, but it's just that Black men don't say what they should say, that Black men need to stop doing this to our women. This is out of order. This is wrong. They don't say stuff like that. Even Ralph Richard Banks, you know, I like him and I like what he's doing in his book and everything. But when I saw the interview the other day, he brushed over it to, oh, well, that's online. And, you know, no, it's not just online. And let's say it was just online. Let's say it was just online and Black guys offline were acting normal. That's still very evil for Black men to sit online 24/7 and call us dogs, and your lady parts look like roast beef, and your dark burnt roach. I mean, the fact that Black men think that this is okay or just want to brush it off and say it's online, these people are influencing people, because now we're German shepherds. And ever since that idiot said that, now I saw 3 other Black men just referring to us. A guy called in and called Shira a German shepherd. You see, so these people are influencing people, and they're influencing Black boys, and Black men just don't want to call Black men out on that. Okay, and it's just, I don't like it.
Okay, well, you know what? There are people in the comments who are agreeing with you, and there are people in the comments who are disagreeing with you. So you know, so it's going either way. When I listened to the broadcast, I didn't personally have an expectation of what I felt he should do. And one of the things, and listen, I'm a broadcaster, right? I'm a content creator and I create content. And I'm sure, listen, in anybody's life, let me ask you all this, the number is going to be 5. If you've ever walked away from an interaction saying, you know what, I wish I would have said this differently, or I wish I could have done this, or I wish I added that, put up the number 5. His interview was a very short interview. It was 40 minutes. He's a very laid back, very muted, subdued personality guy who says, you know, there are some people who are verbose, loquacious. That was one of the vocabulary words I saw on my Facebook feed yesterday. Thank you, Tanya. So there's some men who speak a lot and they speak out. We know that this man is not an extrovert. We know that this man is an introvert. And there are some people who say what needs to be said And anything else you'd have to read between the lines on, because that's just who their personality is. They don't go into full detail, and then they don't have the emotionality that other people feel that they quote unquote should have. And I think that
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and the same thing
and
with
I
Ralph
think
Richard Banks.
I
I
didn't
thought
see that
what you
one.
just said. I
Hmm.
thought that about him too. But I'm
Right,
just
but you know what?
tired of black men on
I think
any
what you're
level.
saying, I think what you're saying is important. And when I called black men out in some of my videos and was like, you know what, black men are not checking other black men. There's a video that I did where it's called Black Man White Wife Wants That Smoke or Wants the Dust or something like that. I did the video live where I read his comments, and there was a black man who went to battle in the comments against this man. And he said that when he heard me say that in a video, that he had an epiphany and he realized that him as a man, even online, he's just not standing up to other black men. So what you're saying is important. I think I think it's important for us to stay away from words like should, because we're then imposing our way of how we think other people should be doing things based on our standards on them. So I think it's important that we stay away from words like should, and that we allow people to show up in the ways that they feel comfortable showing up, in the ways that they do show up. And if we need a little more, then we let them know what it is that we need. If they give it to us, we accept it. If they don't, we turn elsewhere to where it is that we are getting it. So that's why I think that Black women definitely need to divest from a singular thought and allow people who are doing what it is that they need in the ways that they need it done for them. All right. So thank you so much for calling in. Was there something else you wanted to add before we ended the?
Yeah, I agree with you, and I see what you're saying. But at the end of the day, black men just don't have any outrage for the bad things that happen to black women, and we're always outraged over any little thing that happens to them. So yeah, but I get what you're saying, but it's still not right, in my opinion, that they do not talk about the obvious and they glaze over it and just
Okay, well,
discuss something else.
why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? When people come to me and they're asking me about raising funds, right? I tell them that the easiest way to raise funds is to talk to people who are closest to you. So why don't you talk to the men who are in your circle and let them know as a woman what it is that you need? Because one of the things that I find happens is, like, when I was a teenager, I used to ride the train. I went to school in Brooklyn, right? Because I went to a specialized high school. So I traveled far to get to this school. So I traveled from the Bronx to Brooklyn every day. It was an hour and a half to 2.5 hours every single day each way. And I would ride on the train or several trains to get to my school and back home. And one of the things that I saw as a teenager in New York is that there were a lot of teenagers that were loud and swinging on the poles and causing havoc on the train. And then there was me and my group of friends who was sitting down quietly, looking through our books, reading, or discussing school in a low muted manner. And what ended up happening is people would be like, oh, these teenagers are awful. They're terrible. It's this. Because the only teenagers that they were really focused on were the ones who were loudest and the ones who were creating the most friction and havoc on the train. They didn't see all of the quiet ones. So there are Black men out there who do stand up and stick out, but sometimes we're only hearing the ones who are making the most noise. And so we have got to be able to create a space for men to speak up. And as women, one of the things that we can do is applaud them. Men are very, what do you call that? Praise oriented. When they do a good thing, clap your hands together, smile, and be like, good job, more, please. And you just allow them to step up into the mantle of manhood and give you more. Acknowledge. Because if we just sit down and complain about what men aren't doing, the motivation to continue to do more of it. So when you see a man, so like you see Lance and you're like, oh, Lance came out and he said all of these wonderful things. More, please. we need, because you know, you sound very upset, you sound betrayed, and I can understand, because as a Black woman we have been betrayed. But as a woman, the way that we motivate men to give us more is by saying thank you, more please, and you allow them to give you more. All right.
Yes, that's true, but I'm not going to give kudos to Black men for pandering or doing what they're supposed to do anyway. So that's not going to be me doing that. But yes, I do understand that men are like little dogs and operate better on praise, or people do, period. But yeah, I'm just not going to do that, you know.
Well, you know what?
We have to clap for them because they're finally standing up for a Black woman. Yeah, that's not going to be me. I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore.
Do whatever works for you, my dear. Okay. Thank you so much for calling in. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Am I off base? Am I doing too much? Am I saying something that's wrong? Listen, I'm results oriented. I like to do what works. That's what I like to do. I don't like to go the round the mulberry bush and do things harder. I like to do what works, and I know that works. I know that saying thank you, more please, I know that works. And so I already told you, ladies, you need to get on code.
So,
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Hi, what's your name? I need you to turn your computer down in the background or your TV.
Sim.
What is it?
I don't have it on.
Okay.
Sim.
Your name is Sim?
Yeah, S-I-M.
Okay. So hold on for just one moment, please. All right. Am I off base? Am I giving men too much leeway and too much credit? I think that, you know, I think that we really think a lot more of men than they actually are. Oh God. Listen, we think a lot more of them than they actually are. I hate to put it like that. And ladies, you would be surprised how a little goes a long way. You know, a little goes a long way. And please, ladies, you have to learn how to manipulate with your feminine wiles. You have to learn how to manipulate men. You have to learn how to get men to move into action. And even if you listen, just we'll talk. We'll talk. So Ayana is saying, I don't know, I tried that for years. Well, you know what? This is why you cannot become too attached. You say, yes, more please. And do they give you more? If they don't, then you take your more please someplace else. You don't continue. You just take it someplace else. You know, ladies, we really, listen, ladies, you have to realize that you have the power to make a man build. The Taj Mahal was built as an offering of love. Listen, you have the ability to make a man chop down a mountain, take the rocks and build the goddamn thing back up someplace else. You have the ability to sit there in all of your softness and have all of your work done by men. You have the ability to sit there and control the reins. You have that ability. But far too many of us are not taking advantage of our feminine power. We out there trying to bust up rocks ourselves. All you got to do is say a few little words and make them bust up the rocks. That's all you have to do. Do it. Just say it. And then you go with your girlfriends and you laugh it off. Now we have a man on the line, so let's be on our best behavior. Okay? I don't know if he's heard what we've been talking about, so let's just bring him in. Hi, Sim. You're on the air live with Tanya and the Knockouts. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So what is your comment this evening?
Well, it's, I guess, a comment and a question. Trying to get some clarity and solutions here. You know.
Okay.
I want to know, with all the media outlets and with their always constant catering to Black men being sensitive to women's feelings on how you say it, what you say. Black men are always wrong about everything. Their approach is wrong. What we say is wrong. It's just a lot of complaining about what we don't do right. So I want to know, women outnumber men. That's just a fact. So if Black men in whole are not doing their job and not good enough, where are all these other ethnic races, white men or Latinos or whatever. Where are all these men that's coming to save black women? Why isn't everybody else coming to do the job that black men aren't doing if we're doing so poorly at representing the masculine energy that you're looking for? I don't see anybody else
Well,
coming to save.
and I'm so glad that you brought this up. That's a really good point, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. So, I don't know if you're really open to the answer, or if we just wanted to get that off of your chest. So, are you
No, I'm
open to
listening.
the answer?
I wanna hear it.
Okay,
Right.
so there are different degrees of how do we put this? I forget the name of it, but a partner wanting to mate with a person who looks like them, right? There are some women who have the least of it and some women who have the most of that desire. I forget what the evolutionary term for that is. So Asian women actually have the least amount of that, where they mate out at the highest numbers of any other woman, right? Black women, on the other hand, because we are at the other because we are at the spectrum of having the Eve gene and being the original woman and that mitochondrial DNA, there's a part of us that is very loyal to Black men, even to their detriment. And so, yes, if you talk to Black women, there are many men who have come forward in an attempt to date and mate with Black women. But just like the praying mantis, she bites his head off, chases him away. I did a video of an Asian man who was talking about how much he loves Black women, and there were Black women in the comments attacking this Asian man. So we chase away men of other races. I even read this meme years ago where the girl was like, "Are you lost?" That was the meme. "Are you lost?" And that was her response to a white guy, or to white guys who come up to her, wanting, the time of day or whatnot. So you're a Black man. You see and know and understand the beauty of Black women. You see it, and it's there. It's apparent. The glow of our skin, the shimmer of that melanin, the walk, the swagger of Black women. Black women, we are a sight to behold, and we have this Mother Earth, Yemaya, Oshun energy that comes through us. And so, yes, men of other races are intrigued by us, and they do want us, but it's up to Black women to be open to allowing that into their lives. And unfortunately, Black women, to their detriment, are very, very loyal to Black men. Does that answer your question?
I mean, I understand the answer you're giving, but what I was saying is that I don't think it's just Black women allowing men into their other men into their lives. I think that is not like really real. It's not showing what's really going on. I'm a very pleasant person. I'm 6'7". I am. I mean, I'm a laid back guy. Well, I'm telling you the truth. I could give you my description. I don't have a problem showing my picture. I'm 6'7". I'm dark skinned. I'm athletic build. I'm pretty much not the average guy walking the street. But here's the thing: the reality of it is, when I walk the streets in my everyday travels these days, just saying hello, good morning, you get women, my own women, look at me like I'm crazy. Just
All
for trying to
right.
be polite.
Well,
So you can't make this picture
so
like
hold
all
on.
Black women are just pleasant. They're not.
Hold on. I did listen. First of
Uh,
all, there are a lot of problems that exist in America. There's a lot of problems that exist in the Black communities that were reared in America. There's a lot of problems that exist here. And there are a lot of people who have a lot of problems here. Number one of the things that we need to understand is, do you know what 40% is? We're talking about 4 out of 10. Up to 40% of Black girls leaving a Black household has been assaulted intimately before the age of 18. She's already going out into the street with her body already have been ravaged by some male person who came in and stripped her of her innocence. So there's a lot that's going on. So by the time that she gets out into the streets, how many men have already ran through her, ran trains on her, beat her mother? Listen, a Black man kills a Black woman every 21 hours in this country. A Black woman is murdered every 19 hours by a man that she was intimately involved with romantically involved with or married to. So Black women endure a lot of abuses and lack of protection by the time they go out into the street. Listen, even me, as nice as I am, I used to say hello back to men. And you know what happens when you say, let me ask you your opinion from what it is that you know of the average Black man. What do you think happens to a woman, especially if you got curves like how this sister over here got curves? What happens when a Black man says hello to me on the streets and I say hello back? What do you think happens? Sim, please.
You said what happened to average Black man?
No, the average Black man, what do you think he does when he says hello to a woman and she answers back? What do you think he does? What do you think?
To be fair, I know there's ignorance on both sides. I can't tell you that because I've never seen, like, personally, I've never seen my circle.
We're not talking about your circle.
Well, I'm saying when I see in the street, I don't see men in my presence. Maybe it's me being around. I don't see men saying
so
F you, ho, and all that.
No. We're not talking about no curse words or none of that. We're not talking about that. I want you, and I want to see if you're going to be intellectually honest or if you're going to be intellectually dishonest. From what it is that you know of the average Black man, the average Black man that you play basketball with, the average Black man that you pass by at Costco, wherever, I don't know, but wherever it is, and from what it is that you know, because you got Black men in your family, you have Black friends, you went to school with Black men. What do you think happens when a Black man says hello to a woman on the streets and she says hello back? What do you think happens? Because I'm a woman. I know what happens. I want to see whether or not you are going to be honest with us.
You tell me what happens, and I'll agree with you or disagree.
I just want I want you to give your point of view, and then I'll share with you. I just want to hear what you have to say. I want to see.
Well, like I said, I already told you mine. Like I'm not a disrespectful person, so honestly, I can't. If you tell me what your logic is, I'll say, okay, I can see that. So I'm not going to, you know what I mean? So
what ends up happening is, right, and I used to listen, and I care for my people, right? A Black man says hello to you on the streets. You say hello back. And then that has opened the door for him to feel like, oh, now this is my in. He then has something to prove because he's out there with some other men. Then now he leaves them, runs up on you, and then is like haranguing you for your phone number or some sort of contact information or something. It's just a damn hello. It's like it's gotten to the point that you can't even say hello back. Like I like speaking to people who speak to me, but it turns into something else, and it opens up the door for a lot of energies to enter into your day that you may not want to enter into your day. You know what I'm saying? And
I agree with that.
Okay, and it's like, and it's been like that since the time that I was 13 years old. When I was 13, I weighed 165 pounds, and you all know what your girl is packing back. You see that, right? You see that? You see that, right? You see. Okay. So when I pass by on the streets, they say hello, and then the next thing you know, it's turned into something. You can't get this person away from you. I've only had one man cuss me out before, and I had to call him back and say, young man, come back here. Let me talk to you. Only once in Harlem, he cursed me out as he was going down the stairs. And I was like, come back here. Let me speak to you. Right. And we had a conversation. He wasn't in a space that he could really hear, but I'm like, do you see why it's dangerous for a woman to even say hello back? Because I said hello back to him. He followed me to the train station. So, okay. So you understand what it is that I'm saying?
No, I definitely understand. And I agree with you. That can happen. But I have to ask you then, with that same, like, we can't, like you said, I know you're not talking about all the crazies, but just like you said, that one hello, opening the floodgates to try to pursue your phone number, whatever. I mean, the thing about that too is, if he's being respectful, like he did say hello, good morning, I want to know, in your opinion, when is a good time for a man? If I see you, Tanya, and I think you're attractive.
Of course you would.
I may never see you. I may never see you again. When is a good time for me to if I want to try to mate? Because my job as a man, as I've seen on your show, is to pursue a woman. So when is a good time for me to come after you if I can't speak to you? Like, I don't have on your phone. Okay, So I'm supposed to run into you magically at where you think is. I don't have a
Yeah,
sign on
but
your
you know
forehead
what? So
for when it's good for me to talk to you.
And listen, I understand that, and I'm glad that you called in with this question, because this is an important question, because I get asked this all the time, right? One of the things that you have to realize is street approach. The only reason why you're approaching a woman on the street is because physically you've seen something that appeals to the mating part of you. You want to mate. You see something you want to mate with, right? And
Right.
so you see something that you think is attractive. You don't know anything about this woman. She's on
Right.
her way somewhere, because she's not just standing around just hanging out. She's on her way somewhere. She has this whole other life that has nothing to do with you. And
Right.
I don't like street approaches at all. I don't like them. I like to go about my business. I like to just walk and get to where it is that I'm going, do my thing, and not have to worry about somebody else in my energy and
Right.
intruding into my day. The best
Okay.
way to meet women, join a meetup group, join a group where the women are specifically there. You know how many, what do you call those things where people sit down for 5 minutes in front of each other and then they
Speed
rotate around?
dating.
Yes. So you know that. So places where people are going, where women are going because they're open to meeting men.
Tanya, what if I want you? I may not see you there.
Right, but the thing is that you don't know me well enough to want me, and I personally, I don't want intrusions into my day. I don't want it. I don't like street approaches. I don't want to be approached on the street.
That is your preference,
I
Tanya,
don't,
but you're making it real hard.
yeah, but you
It's
know
not
what? So
that hard.
listen. One of the things you see, and the thing is, this is how you can tell when a man is a protector of women and when he's not. He doesn't really understand that some nigga out on the street, you don't know him. He comes from Adam. You don't, there's nobody that has vetted him. There's nobody that knows him. And there's nobody who knows his track record, who knows his family, we're not living in small towns anymore. We're living in big cities. Right?
Right.
So just any old nigga out on the street is not somebody that you can just give your time to. What I'm saying is, when you go to an event, the people there at the event, they at least have your email address. They at least have your email address. You've been pre-qualified some sort of way. Somebody knows how to get in touch with you. But just any man out on the street, and it can be the most polite hello. You don't know, every hello is polite. The hello, who has ever said an impolite hello? Like, hey, yeah. No, they don't do that. They're like, hey, hi. They're like, hey, ma, hey, sister, right? That's how it all starts. Why is this funny?
1970, Tanya.
Whatever. All I'm saying is participate in
I definitely understand the safety part of it, Tanya, and I do think women need to be protected more as far as the laws. I think the safety of women is mandatory to get you in a more protective state. But on this flip side too is we can't forget that just like you have your, like, you need safety and all these things, you don't want to get men to the point where they are scared to even talk to you.
They should
because
be.
Now you're going to say that because then you're going to say they're not masculine enough. They're not brave enough to walk up. And what you see now more days, I'm saying what you see more days is a lot more men, right, on top of all the things that black women complain that we don't do. What you do see more days now is men just say, well, there is no right way to approach. So I just say skip it all together.
Thank you. Yeah. And I love that. You have no idea how free it feels to walk down the street without a person with a penis attempting to give you his penis. You have no idea how comforting. I feel free. So
you don't ever want to be with a man?
I don't want to be approached on the street. You're not hearing me.
No, I'm talking
how
about the street.
How many different languages do I need to say it in?
No. I'm not talking about the street. I'm saying, so if you don't meet them in a function, if you don't meet them at a function, it can never be a spontaneous meeting. It has to be organized.
I don't like being approached on the street. What other ways are there? I don't want to be approached at the gas station. I don't want anybody who hasn't been vetted approaching me. I don't know you. I don't want you coming up to me. I don't want you invading my space with your big ass body and your rippling muscles and your gigantic height looming over me. I don't want it. I don't want that. I just want to be free. I want to go to the gas station freely. We can do a survey, and this is just me. There are some women out there who like that, but the thing is that we're living in a time where you just don't know. You don't know who's gay. You don't know who's married. You don't know who has children. You don't know who baby daddy is hanging out at their house right now. You don't know who baby daddy is driving, gun in hand, waiting to see. We don't know who's out. Listen, we don't know. That's why we have to let people just navigate and be free. So the numbers are going to be 6 and 7. Ladies, if you like being approached on the street by men, put up the number 6. If you do not like being approached on the street by men, put up the number 7. And look at the numbers come through. Look and see real life women who are answering you. And they'll put the numbers up. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So Pretty Natural says 6. We got the 7s coming in. Then let's see. Oh, it's going so fast now. I wish I had an assistant.
6 was yes and 7 was no.
6 is I like being approached on the streets. But look at the 7. 7 is I do not like being approached on the street. There's so many 7s that it's difficult to get them all in on the screen.
No, I definitely see what you're saying. And I said I agree with you that you need more protection in other ways. But I mean, I get exactly what you're saying. But the problem is just the reality of being that there are more women who want to get married, who want to have a husband.
Who's going to marry somebody from the damn street?
No, well, I mean, see, that's what I mean. I'm not trying to argue with you or make me the good guy or you the bad guy. But what I'm saying, the reality of it is the same guy that you meet at the organized function is the same guy that was walking down the street.
Yes, but at the organized function, they have his email address. They know his name. They got his IP address.
At those functions,
they got your IP address.
But the thing about it, where you can't be scared of human beings to a certain degree. I understand the protection and taking the approach of safety first. I got that, and I think you deserve that. But at the end of the day, if we're going to go to the extreme about lunatics, they don't care about IP addresses. That same guy who gives out all this information at these things, it doesn't stop a lunatic from being a lunatic. That's just reality.
Right,
that's the law saying that we can't carry guns, and that you think that not carrying guns, that you think not carrying guns stop criminals from carrying guns?
What you want to do is you want an answer that you agree with.
No, it's not that I agree with. What I'm saying is I agree with you.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm. What
type of jacket do you wear?
What kind of jacket? I wear suits.
Right, like an outside jacket. What type of jacket do you wear?
It could be an overcoat. It could be whatever the weather's appropriate.
Give me a name brand of some jacket or some sort of overcoat that you wear.
I don't know. It could be Hilfiger.
Okay. So I want you to think of your overcoat, right? I want you to think of your overcoat. Now you're a man. You're 6'7", right?
Right.
Imagine that you have on an overcoat that looks nice, right?
Right.
How many men would you want coming up to you just to tell you that your overcoat looks nice? How many? You have a nice overcoat, you put it on. How many men at even 6'7" would you want coming up to you? Strange men out on the street.
Strange men?
Yeah.
What are saying? I have a nice overcoat?
Yeah. Money?
I mean, people
compliment me. That coat is nice. How many of them do you want coming up to you? On like in a day, how many would you feel comfortable with?
I'm giving you the answer, Tanya. The thing is, I'm not scared of people, and I don't reject people. So I get what you're saying. You're a woman and you're smaller, and like you said, you're of shape and you're curved, and you probably get tired of getting hit all the time. I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but what I'm saying is that is going to really be, maybe you are just to the point where you're disgusted with men altogether, and I can't speak for your experiences, because like you said, the molestation, the rape, but I just say, as if me and you, let's just say, want to move forward and try to have a loving thing, there has to be somewhere down the line some trust, because the one thing the stats don't show is that men go through the same thing. You know how many men have been molested and raped as well? But the numbers are not going to show that, because
no, the numbers do show it. It's 1 in 6.
No, they're not going to show it, because all it shows is what's been reported. Men overall do not want to tell.
I want you to just tell
and other men.
I understand.
Hold on, I'm telling you. I know. Now I'm a man. You can't argue this point. Other men are not going to want to come out and say, I had another man take me from behind. That's not going to
Well,
be
you know
sorry.
what? And
It's
listen,
not.
and so the
It's not.
numbers they're saying from what it is that they've gathered in the aggregate that it's about 1 in 6. It's about the same as it is for the general population of women. How many men would you feel comfortable? Give me a number coming up to you to tell you that they like your overcoat. How many in a
It
day?
doesn't bother me. That wouldn't bother me.
So any number of men coming up to you, right?
I mean, we're not talking again. I'm not going to extreme. 1,000 men a day. Yes, that's retarded. But
Hold on. Now imagine that you're 5'3" and you are less strong than the average person coming up to you,
I
even
agree
at the
with
same
you.
size.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is the street is not the right place. So if you were 5'3", how many men would you like looming over you, telling you that your coat looked nice?
You keep making it a man-woman thing. It's a people thing. Like
No,
I get,
it's not.
I
It's
get
not
a
a
lot.
people
I'll make it
thing.
realistic for you. I'll
Thank you
get it
so
realistic
much.
for
Thank
you.
you so
What
much for
people say to
calling
me.
in. Thank you for
Hold
calling
on. I'll
in.
tell you realistically what people say to me. They say, "Have you played basketball before?" You think, but I don't. I could either get mad and tired of that, or I just laugh it off and keep it pushing.
I'm not talking about people asking you whether or not you've played a certain sport or whether or not you've modeled. That's a whole different thing than somebody seeing something on your person, liking it, approaching you and telling you that they like what's on your person. Let me ask the men out in this audience, since you want to act funny. Listen,
Wow.
men.
So if I don't agree with you,
No,
I'm acting
because you're
funny.
acting funny because because you're acting like you don't have the ability to look outside of your 6'7" body.
No, what
You're
I
already
said to
taller
you a
than
million times, I said
right.
to you several times that I agree with you. Why aren't you not hearing that point?
Because you keep countering with how are people supposed to get married? How are you supposed to find a man? Women outnumber men. No, only across the board it's even. It's only in the Black community that there are less Black men than there are Black women, and it's only by 2 million, right?
I thought
And
we were talking about Black people.
right. So it's only by 2 million. I'm talking about dating who makes you happy. That's what I'm talking about. And
Oh, so you don't care about Black women. I thought you said Black women have an instinct to date Black
they
men. So if
do.
we're talking about Black
This is why I
love,
have begun this is why I have begun telling Black women that they need to divest and do what's right for them, because there aren't enough Black men for every Black woman. There just
I
aren't.
agree. Again, I agree with you.
Right.
So go
So
ahead and date other races
let me
and see
ask
how that turns out for you.
and look at how it turns out. It's
I
turning.
don't think it turns out good because I don't think Black women are as loyal as you think. I think when Black women find a better option, they leave. The difference is I don't think Black men are complaining about the ones that leave. If you if you
Listen,
find
you got the
happiness
numbers,
and love in somebody
wrong.
else,
I was listening to Pink Pill, who researches this, right?
okay.
Black men have notoriously dated out at more than twice the rate of Black women. So Black men are not complaining about Black women. Well, there are Black men complaining now because Black women have wisened up and have begun to make a shift. But for the most part,
Okay.
they were already gone. It's like Asian women complaining about Asian men dating out. They don't know what the Asian men are doing because their asses aren't there. Asian women are already up with white men. They don't know what Asian men are doing. So they don't have any complaints about Asian men, quote unquote, dating out because the women are gone. They've already divested.
Right.
So I'm going to do a survey in the audience. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for this point of view, and rock on, my brother. Keep going to singles events and just try to understand. Go to singles events. What's the problem with singles events?
I wasn't talking about me. I don't have that issue. I was just saying that again. I was trying to help Black women, like
help
you know.
them
I
meet people on
understand.
this. Oh no. The phone call slipped. All right. So the numbers are going to be 8 and 9. I want to hear from the men. Men, if you have on a jacket, do you want other men coming up to you telling you how they like your jacket? It's a nice jacket. If you don't have any problem with other men coming up to you telling you, yo, money, I like your jacket, put in the number 8 if you got no problem with it. Put in the number 9 if this is not the attention you want.
Call from
Cena.
All right. You're in the air live with Tanya Cena. Talk to me.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello?
Yes. Put up the number 8 if you have no problem with other men coming up to you and being like, that's a nice jacket, money. And put up 9 if you're just not interested in men approaching you because you don't know these men. You don't know if they're violent. You don't know what they got in mind. You don't know if they want to take your goddamn jacket off of you and leave you in the street shivering. So talk to me, Sina. So we have Morpheus. Morpheus doesn't mind if the men's come up to him and like, nice jacket, son. All right. So I'm going to try to put some of these. I only want men to answer because women, you already did your survey. So just let the men answer. So Edgerton is saying 9. He got up 3 9s. He answering several times. Oh, Lord. Somebody says, ask them if they like cops walking up to them on the streets. You know what? I laughed at first, but that is actually a good analogy because cops have a history of violence towards Black men. You want a cop coming up to you talking about, yeah, where'd you get that jacket from? Where'd you get that jacket? All right, so let's see these numbers. So see me, go ahead. Was that you?
Sina.
All right, Sina. Okay, go ahead. So what is your comment today?
My comment is about
Jay Ray, you're a woman. You're not supposed to be answering the survey. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
my comment is about there's a lot of things I can say. I feel like when it comes to Black men, I think that this is just from my own personal experiences. I feel like a lot of times we have these preconceived notions because I've done it myself where I will be approached in a safe space by a Black man, and just by him being Black, whether he looks nice, whether all of that, it had this immediate thought that, oh, this isn't going to work out.
Really?
Because of past experiences. And it's crazy to me because I grew up, both my parents are Black. My father is a Black man, and I have an older brother, and these were great examples. My grandfathers, my uncles, these were really upstanding, educated, very intelligent, kind Black men, respectful Black men. But I think through my late teens and early 20s, dating Black men and having these negative experiences, I think that now when I meet Black men, typically it's I have this thought in my head like, oh, this guy's gonna be like this, he's gonna be like that, and it's just a lot of negativity. And I think that I've done like the inner work. I need to, a lot of Black women, I feel like they need healing, or they need to kind of sit with themselves, and it's just, I'm trying to figure out the word, just what to say. But I think I see that in my girlfriends as well. Most of my friends are Black women, and they have these preconceived notions that this Black man isn't going to be up to par. He's not going to do the things that they need him to do.
Yeah.
And literally because,
well, you know what? Hold that thought, because one of the things that I saw in the responses, right, is that a great number of the men who were responding 8 that they like men coming up to them were also gay. So I didn't qualify my survey. So this is so I didn't qualify my survey. But yes, so Seema, have you gotten therapy about these issues that you're having with not being able to trust Black men, etc.?
I have. I've gone to therapy many times, and I've talked to my Black male friends about this.
Okay.
And also something that I noticed, people may not agree. A lot of my male friends are not American. Most of them are actually from West, North, and South Africa.
Okay.
And I think, and again, they remind me of the men in my family, and the fact that they're respectful, they're kind, they're generous. And also I think it has to maybe do with like a cultural thing. I don't know, but I have noticed a difference in African American men versus African men.
Okay, so what you're saying, but you said when you first came on that a Black man comes up to you and you start thinking of all of the things that can go wrong. How do you know whether or not this man is African or Caribbean or whatever? How do you know?
True. I don't know. That's the issue.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? This is all I can say, right? This is all I can say. You said that you went to therapy for that particular issue, and what was the outcome of that? How long did you stay in therapy for it, and what was the outcome?
Well, I've been going to therapy since I was a teenager, on and off.
Okay.
And it wasn't until my adult years where I started talking about this topic because, that's when I started to date. And I've learned to really open myself up and not judge, not be so judgmental, and not be, so, what's the word? Not be so judgmental. It's mostly not being so judgmental and not, thinking I know everything just because of their appearance.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah, but one of the things that's of concern to me is that you're saying that you automatically see the person's race and you automatically have these negative associations, but you say that most of the men in your family are Caribbean, you said?
Well, my father's side, my grandfather was Jamaican, and my mom's father was Ethiopian.
Okay, and in your inner circle, you have a lot of East African men, et cetera, et cetera. However, when Black men approach you on the street, you said that you're feeling these feelings of angst, distrust. When did that first begin for you? When did you first start feeling that way?
I started feeling that way after my first relationship in my early 20s. I was dating a Black man. We were together for about a year and a half, and that experience was not a great one. I've moved on from it. I've healed from it, but it just was very negative. He was a very toxic person, and I think that stemmed from his own insecurities and his own upbringing. His father was locked up majority of his life, and he never dealt with that. And I came in trying to fix him, and that backfired. And there was a lot of...
Okay. Well, you know what? I will say this, right? I would say dive deeper in because there's an opportunity for healing here. Because if you see a person, look, I have this fear of dogs. These dogs chased my mother when we were in the Caribbean. The pack of dogs chased her down a hill. She fell off her bike and she came back in bloody. She fell down on these rocks and she came back in bruised and bloody. And I saw that at 7 years old. And your subconscious mind gets formed as everything comes in as truth up until about the age of 9. Then you form the critical mind, right? And so things that happen to us when we're young and impressionable, especially when we first begin dating and things like that, they can have a tremendous impact. I say, while you're seeing your therapist, also look for a hypnotherapist, because the hypnotherapist can help you actually act out and in a safe space and be able to release some of those fears, phobias, and PTSDs that we're feeling. So I definitely encourage you to continue to dive in and do whatever it is that you need to do to find that healing, because I'm sure it can't possibly feel good that when you see people who look like you, that you feel fear of these people. I know that, especially when they're half of the population of your community, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that cannot feel good. So if there's a way that you can heal from that, but also leave up the boundaries that will help keep you safe from people who are not there in your best interest. So please, there's an opportunity here. And when it comes to therapy sometimes only goes but so far, and then a hypnotherapist can come in and pick up where we left off and even work in tandem with your therapist. So I definitely suggest, this is why I became a certified clinical hypnotherapist, because talk therapy goes so far in certain situations. And then there's a need to really get in there and change that programming. So please seek out a therapist. If you would like recommendations to therapists that specifically deal with PTSD, write me on my website. I'll give you a resource that you can go and look up different hypnotherapists. And I also know some hypnotherapists who can work with you. So yeah, absolutely. Don't give up. Don't give up. Oh my gracious, we've been on for an hour and a half. I was not planning on going longer than an hour. So thank you so much for calling in. Was any of this helpful to you?
It was very helpful. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Wow, the time went so quickly. I want to give a shout out to Steve, who sent $10. And he also sent me a Cash App yesterday with a message, but I wasn't on when I realized, because my ringer was off. And the message that he sent me yesterday was, I am a Black American man, Tanya. So that's what he said. And he sent $10 yesterday as well. So thank you. And you know what, I think a lot of men are getting insulted when I mention that there are differences between Black American men and men in other, born and raised in other cultures, right? And please don't take it as me having something inherently against you, because each person can be judged on an individual basis. However, there are issues that are endemic to our community that have to be spoken about.
Shanita.
All right.
To accept, press 1.
So, Shanita, you said?
Yes.
Hi, can you turn on the computer or TV in the background?
Yes. Turn down.
Okay, perfect. So what is your comment? You're going to be our last caller of the evening. I'm going to turn off the phone lines.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How are you today? I just want to first off saying hello. How are you?
Hi, I'm
doing
fine,
well.
thank you.
Your family as well and all of that.
Yes, happy
stuff.
holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that it was refreshing to hear on the previous live where Pink Pill interviewed the gentleman,
yes,
the wealthy man. It was very refreshing to hear him say those things about women, how his mom struggled as a single mother, and pretty much single moms are not counted out, and
right.
all of those good things. It was just very refreshing to hear, and I say that because, and I kind of walked into it myself, but there was a panel that was on YouTube yesterday that was all men, and just listening to that conversation, the topic was, you're average at best, right?
Okay.
And I went on to the panel just to hear the men's perspective on how, they felt about the situation. So I asked the question, in regards to the average at best woman or the Kevin Samuels, do you think there's a way to say everything? And
okay, hold on for just one moment. I just want to understand what it is that you're saying. And let me just mention this comment real quick. So there's somebody who is saying the old fallback is you gay. No, I know some of my subscribers, and some of my subscribers who I saw answering the questions are gay. So gay is not an insult. There's nothing wrong with being gay. There are men out there who like other men, and it makes sense that a man who likes men wouldn't mind a man who is a potential coming up to him. There are other men who said other things as well. So I just made reference that I did not make the distinction. If you're feeling some sort of way, that's on you, son. That's on you. You feel your way. All right. So you said that you were roaming around. You saw oh wow, a lot of cash apps are coming in back to back to back. I'm gonna call those out in a moment. So you said that you were on YouTube. You saw a broadcast that said you're average at best. You clicked on it to see what they had to say. And what was it that you came into contact with when you came there?
Yeah, well, I joined the panel and I asked the men, do you think that there is a way to say everything? And instead of them answering the question, they quickly started with insults. well, see, this is wrong with you women. You all want things packaged to you nice and neatly. You want things to be said. But when Kevin Samuels says something a certain way, you all want to get offended and demand just speaking truth. And, you know, this is what's wrong with you women. And all of
Okay.
these insensitive,
I want you to hone in on the point. What is it that you want to relay in this phone call?
Okay, so I wanted to relay that again. Like I said, it was refreshing to hear the other gentleman hear the other gentleman say those things about women. How, you know, men who are making six figures are not sitting around all day just talking about, you know, the opinions of Kevin Samuels. They're actually out here making money and not really concerned about, you know, conversations like these. So
okay.
that was just
Okay. Thank you. And I'm sorry if it feels like I'm rushing you. I don't like to broadcast for more than 2 hours. And I came onto this broadcast to do an additional hour, and we're about an hour and 40 minutes in. So I want to get off. I'm still fasting. I have not eaten today. So I want to get off and jump into some food. Maybe we'll see what I do. But I want to say this to you, right? What were you expecting when you went to a broadcast that says you're average at best? What were you expecting when you went there? Did you think that there would be upstanding men, you know, trying to hug women? What did you think you were going to come into contact with?
Yeah, no, I knew what I was walking into when I walked in there. I was just wanted to hear their perspective. I knew, I didn't know that it was going to go that far with the condescending and insulting of it all, but it was just interesting to hear that there are men who out here really think like that still. So that was just my whole thing.
I mean, but were we under a misconception that there were men out there that didn't feel this way? We know that there are a lot of hurt males out here who are experiencing a tremendous amount of mental health issues, psychological issues, physiological issues. The average Black man in America makes $23,000. Google it. Just Google it. So of these men who are talking about what six-figure earning men make, how many of these men do you think are making six figures? If you haven't heard the thing that I did with Jordan Harbinger, go listen to that. He talks about what a high value man is like. He talks about how, you know, a lot of these people just want to put Black women in their place. They want to make a woman feel bad. They want to be like, oh, you're beneath me. I'm above you. They want to feel superior. So if a person is talking about leveling up and wanting a man, she's making six figures, wanting a man who makes six figures. And there's a lot of men out there who just don't know how to deal with their aggression. They don't know how to deal with they don't know. They just don't know. They haven't gotten the healing that they need. And so we heard a young woman who called in, and she talked about her post-traumatic stress from a relationship that went awry. How many men out here are dealing with fathers who abandon them, mothers who abuse them, men who abuse them intimately, other men who jump them and beat them up, psychological issues, who are dealing with different forms of being on the spectrum and not being diagnosed, having mental health disorders or problems? How many men out there dealing with things that are unaddressed and who are angry at women? I mean, we spoke to a woman who says when she sees a man, Black men, she starts thinking about all the things that could go wrong, all of the terrible feelings that she has. How many men see a woman and they don't see her softness? We talked about this in a video the other day. They don't see her softness. They see the white man in her. They see the mother who never gave them affection. They see the girl in sixth grade who rejected him. They see all these beautiful Instagram models with their big old juicy tatas in the front who don't want to let them rest their head upon her bosom. They see being cut off from the softness. They see so much when they see women and they're angry and they don't know how to deal. So all I can say for you, ladies and gentlemen out there, support the content that supports you. Go.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, go where you're receiving the messages that light fire to your soul, that help you and help you see things in a different way, but not in a pandering way, but help you have epiphanies and learn yourself and see the world in a bigger, broader, higher vibrational way. All right, go ahead and we'll let you sum it up.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So I may be living in some type of bubble or whatever, but I don't surround myself with those type of men, and I don't have those type of men in my life. So it was just, like I said, kind of eye opening for me to hear these type of men say these type of things. I know that they're out there. I just never heard it. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it was in my YouTube feed. I'm just scrolling because Kevin Samuels is really trending topic right now. So that came up in my feed and on YouTube. So I was like, okay, well, let me just see what the men have to say, because I'm not really invested into the conversation about what men think and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I went up there, I was like, oh, this is how they think. This is what it is.
And now you know.
So that's why I said it was refreshing. Yeah, that's why I said it was refreshing to hear the gentleman from the interview.
All right. Now, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So listen, I wanted to thank all of you for calling in. Thanks to everybody who called in during this broadcast and gave your opinions and weighed in. Thank you to the people who watched the original video. Just thank you. I really appreciate all of the love and support that you all have shown over the course of this year. We are coming to the end of a year, and I'm just happy that we went on this journey together. There are a lot of you who are upset that there are people who are making videos about me. That is fine. Allow them to make their videos. That is quite all right. Just like I said, let them come over. Oh, come, all ye faithful. Listen, just let them come. Let them come. It's all right. It's all right. So let me give a shout out to the people. All right. So we got Kia, who has sent in $5 with triple hearts on there. Thank you. And we have Tamika, who has sent $25, who is saying, you are awesome. Keep doing great work. Thank you, Tamika. And then we have Nicole, who sends $5. I can't open it. Well, she's given $5. So I'm just going to give you your heart. My phone is messing up. It's not. Oh, here it is. It's opened it. So Nicole, thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. So thank you all very, very much. Thank you. I'm going to jump out of here because I want to relax and just relax into my holiday weekend and just enjoy the time with my family as well. I hope that you all enjoy the time with your family, and just remember that everybody didn't have the same type of upbringing that you had, either on a positive side or not so positive side. You know, we're all dealing with a lot of different things coming at us from many different angles. And I think that one of the things that we can do is question what it is that we know to be normal. And I talk about one of the great things that I learned being in a bicultural household is I had the opportunity to question what I thought of as normal. And it allowed me to question those things plus a whole lot more. So I appreciate all of the love and support, the cash apps, the emails, the entering the contest, joining the mailing list, taking the quizzes. I appreciate all of that. And we're going to be doing a lot more in the upcoming year. Remember, I'm creating a card game called Are You the One for Me? And it asks questions on the front of the card. And then you have a decoder that helps you decode on the back of the card. It helps you decode on the back of the card psychological cues and cues to listen to in their answer so that you know how to interpret their answer. So that card game is coming up in 2021. We also have the book of Affirmation, Self-Love, which is a book written by a certified clinical hypnotherapist, which is me, that helps you rewrite your subconscious programming for self-love. It helps you tune yourself in for that love of self, helps you attract abundance, love, thriving into your life. Okay, so this is the book. It changes so much. And I think you all just go read the reviews on Amazon. Put this in your wish list because it's sold out worldwide, but the publisher, finally, we got all of the edits for version 2 out, and it's going to be here in about 2 weeks. But you know, it's a holiday now, so maybe 3 weeks. So I will let you all know on my mailing list when the game. I'm going to do some pre-sales. We're going to do some autographed copies. And so I'm excited about all of the things that are coming up in this new year. So thank you. Thank you. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa, everyone. Hey, Rudolph, your nose so bright. Won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Hey. All right, everybody. Listen, I love you all so very, 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 very much. Go out there and love one another. But most importantly, what? That's right. Love yourself. Love yourself. And part of loving yourself is what? Part of loving yourself is listening to content that feeds you, not depletes you. I'll say that, and I'll just leave it at that. Listen to content that feeds you, not depletes you. All right, and on that note, I'm going to go jump from roof to roof and make sure that everybody got their presents this holiday season. All right, everybody, I love you all very much. Go out there and love one another, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.